Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub. I'm full of water. I say hot tub. Stay hot tub. Gonna get you hot. I'm gonna make it wet. Say hot tub. Rubber tub and
Get in there, Glenn.
rubber tub and me. Should I get in the hot tub?
Yeah.
Will it make me sweat?
Yeah.
Should I get in the hot tub?
Yeah.
Will it make me wet?
Yeah.
Well, good morning.
Hey,
yes, sir. Speaking of well,
Look at that. You think my buddy's got a problem with his house?
I think he's,
He's in waist deep water. And you know what his dad did?
Where's that at?
His dad owned the insurance. It was a insurance. One of them. I still have one of the policy with his dad,
Right.
Heath, and they were in Lake Wales, Florida, where he had his agency. And his son played for me there. This is his son that played for me, and he's up waist deep water. And I'm trying to see where they're at. I mean, look at the flooding.
Yep, I know.
It's
It's just
absolutely
like
brutal.
in South Carolina, all the outdoor toilets flooded. So you mean,
They're just deep cleaning.
That's really terrible.
it is. I
I hope they have flood insurance.
Let me tell you what, though, if it gets in your house,
Flood insurance, they need CETO.
That's right.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I'm trying to find out what
I
town.
remember
they're
that
in.
one year that up there by the lake up in Southport. Man, a lot of those people homes got flooded. I mean, like to the top of the first floor. Some things. So.
Said 16 inches of rain from Hurricane Debbie. They 3 feet of water deep in my barn, 19 inches in the garage, under the house. I think I want to think I think they moved. I don't think they're in Florida anymore.
Well,
And I hate this. I don't know what town they're in. But anyway, the flooding.
this is your
bad.
ESPN weather report this morning.
Did you guys see the hazard report? Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
They showed the Gulf and to the end of August. My God. Supposed to be some hazard going on here. If I can find it, I didn't share it though. It had like solid red at the end of August. So
You know why they show that? Because if they're in there red, you're not going to watch. But if they show red,
yeah. Well, as hot as it's been, and hot.
Sure.
Yesterday I thought it was going to. I'm hurting today. Last night I didn't feel good. I got walked in that heat, and big mistake. That's it. I've learned my lesson. I will not do that again.
but you know what they call it when there's storms in the tropics, right?
What's that?
August.
Yeah. That's like you don't get out in the sun from 10 o'clock till November 1st.
That's true.
Golly.
That's like not going to Walmart until after the vacationers leave. Yeah, exactly. Of course, they never leave anymore, so
That's
we don't
right.
know.
Anyway, tell us what, Wildcat, tell us what you were saying we got hacked.
Oh, I was just looking at some news, and this kind of jumped out at me that there are 2.8 billion with billion people that got hacked. Allegedly, here's what happened real fast, is there was a class action lawsuit that was being held by the government, and the government had all this information about these people that had gotten hacked, and they were filing a lawsuit.
See, lawyers.
And the government got hacked. And so these 2.8 billion people, and they didn't know about it until someone tried to sell it for $3.5 million on the dark web.
That seems cheap.
And that's how the government found out that all that information they had on these people that were filing this suit and it's a true government cluster.
No, I can't believe that.
So your government, your tax dollars at work.
Lawsuits involved, government involved.
Yep.
What could go wrong?
Lawyers, guns, and money. Who sang that song, Brian?
Was that Warren Zevon?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great song.
Ding, 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 ding. You win a donut.
Thank you, by the way.
How was I to know she was with the Russians, too? That's a great song.
The UCN Tropical Heads Up.
Here we go.
2 weeks, the last 2 weeks in August, we're going to have to be very busy. Let's just say that. We'll be pretty busy.
Big John, cue up Run to the Hills to take us to Bumper here with Coach reading the Tropic Report.
I don't know.
I've already got
Thunderstruck. There was supposed to be some kind of dust blown across from the Sahara Desert.
No, I saw all that in Midland, Texas.
Did you?
Yeah. All the dust in the United States is down there.
And the tumbleweeds.
Yeah, that's right.
So. But then the article says, don't get too worked up if you live on the Coast. After you scare, I swear to God, it said, after they scare you to death, they go, but don't get too worked up.
Dogs and
about
cats
the possibilities of serious unrealistic.
Well, just like every year, this is supposed to be the worst year for hurricanes ever.
Yeah.
That's what they said last year. That's what they said this year.
Well, that's kind of like when you get on the airplane, they tell you that your seat's a flotation device and you're not flying over the ocean.
This is a joke.
What good is that going to do me if we hit the water?
I want someone to bounce out of the cornfields.
Look, this is a joke, but I firmly believe it's the truth, too. I think everything's fine until Jim Cantori shows up. That's when you need to get out.
Oh, my God.
Did he show up in Florida?
I thought I saw him at a restaurant. I thought I saw him at a restaurant. Swear to goodness. I thought I saw him sitting at a table next to me. My wife said, I was taking her out for our anniversary dinner, and she said, oh, my God, it's him. It's Jim Cantori. And I looked, out of the corner of my, she said, don't look. But I looked anyway.
That's right.
Because I never listened to her.
Said, don't look,
I looked over there, and I swear to you, and he was with a beautiful woman. So, of course, it was Jim Cantori. But the only thing, after I stared at the man for a while, was that there was a lot of tattoos on his arm. And I couldn't ever remember if
he doesn't have those.
He doesn't have any tattoos. That's the only thing.
He's a weightlifter.
Other than
that's storm damage.
So is this guy. This guy.
His body is his temple.
Thing.
He lifts weights. His body is his temple.
Storm damage.
He doesn't put graffiti on his body.
And I mean, we were at the Grand Marlin, so he did have the money to eat someplace like that. So,
wow.
Well, obviously you do.
Yeah.
Obviously you do.
Whoa, are you cleaning dishes? What were you doing there?
I was waiting tables.
He was picking,
I was busting tables.
He was busting tables.
What were you saying now? Go back. I was reading the weather report. You said that
pay attention.
The government,
heck of a sports
show. Screwed up again on something.
The government was handling a class action lawsuit for 2.8 billion people because they lost information. So they had all this information on all these people, right down to Social Security numbers and medical records and all that stuff. Well, that agency that had all that information, the government, and it had U.S. something, and the agency that had all that information for the lawsuit got hacked. And they didn't know about it until all that information.
You're talking about our government.
Our government, right.
Okay, well, I don't believe this report.
And the headquarters is in South Florida somewhere. And they got hacked, and they didn't know about it until they saw that information come up on the dark web for $3.5 million.
That must have been done by CNN. We don't have 1 billion people that live here in this country.
Well, here's the
thing. Are you sure? Right. That border's been open for a while.
That's like our vice president is running for president. She said, I saw that about to die. She said 220 million people died last year alone from drugs in this country. I thought we only had like 300-something million.
I think it's the first truthful thing she's ever said. That's probably right.
I don't think so.
I'm off. All right, no more politics.
The sporting part of this whole thing is 3-1 odds you didn't get hacked.
Yeah, really.
There you go. Yeah, back to sports.
Anyway.
You got no alligator attacks? Or
no, not today. I'm feeling poorly.
I did see a dead armadillo for the first time since I've lived down
I do have a report on those.
That's not evolution is not correct because armadillos would be glow green if they had evolved through that,
right.
So they wouldn't get hit. But anyway,
our run up today, we got Coach Brown on at 7:15. I got to ask him how they're handling this heat. This is brutal out there.
I saw him on TV the other day.
Then at 7:30, Dr. Ward will be in here. Well, we're going to have him on the phone, and then 8:30, all you need to know about the Florida Gators. They're going through camp, getting closer and closer to the huge kickoff, the August 31st game against Miami, which is keep hearing keep on hearing how good Miami's going to be. So
we have
see it.
several listeners out there that get upset about not having enough Florida. But Wednesday we have a whole hour of Florida, so I'm not sure how that.
Well, other people saying when they start winning, we'll talk more about them. It wasn't me. It was not me saying that. You know better than that. It was actually Wildcat, as far as you know. All right, you guys have been watching the Olympics with the revenue sharing. Brian, you probably know more about this than we do. How's this going to affect the future of the Olympics as far as all of us winning gold medals for the United States of America? When with the revenue sharing, they've already been warning they're going to be cutting programs, and those are the programs that are going to be cut.
It's hard to say for certain. I think sports will have to adapt. There are some club models out there, like swimming has a club model, but yet they funnel people through the college system. I would imagine USA Wrestling will have to adapt and things like that. So there'll be clubs. They'll need to find funding, which is going to be difficult. Colleges just rape the taxpayers.
Are we going to be weaker or stronger in the future, though?
Well, it depends. Swimming could end up actually being stronger for the United States, and here's what I mean. Right now, the way that swimming goes, generally speaking, is a lot of the people who are competing in the Olympians go through the United States college system. So sounds great, in and of itself, except that, up until now, you've had a scholarship limitation. I think it's been 13 for women, 9 for men. Well, if you've only got 9 full scholarship spots for men and you're bringing internationals in, because your job is, if you're the University of Florida head coach, your job is to win the NCAA championship, not to go USA, so you're bringing in foreigners. So a lot of the foreign swimmers outside of the Australians, who they have their own kind of means of funding and resources, pretty much train here. So in a way, our system
a lot of different sports.
Yeah, and I know swimming a little bit better, but yeah, it's true. Our system is actually training our competition as well as ourselves. So, a lot of people go, what was wrong with our swim team this year? There's a lot of answers. Our men were a little bit down, but what's happened is what has been happening for 20 years has been masked by having one superstar athlete. Like a Michael Phelps, or a Ryan Lochte, or a Katie Ledecky, or something that'll win 4, 5, 6, 8 gold medals by themselves. So you finally are seeing that, we're just not that much better because we're training the rest of the world the same we're training ours. So the guy from France who won 4 gold medals, who's probably the best swimmer in the world right now, he trains at Arizona State. Now at Texas, following Bob Bowman, who was Michael Phelps' coach. Summer McIntosh, the next superstar in Canada, trains down in Sarasota, Florida, with Brent Arkey, good friend down there. So, there's a lot of the foreign athletes who do that. So in a respect, if the college programs go away, which we expect a lot of them to do, due to especially if you become employees, in a weird way, that might end up helping the United States national team.
They train as well.
Well, and you'll get them back in a club setting, which is probably less likely to be able to have the funding to bring the internationals over. Some will still be there, but I don't know. It's not what I would prefer to do in general. I still like college swimming; it's important, but in a weird way, it might have a good effect on our national team. I don't think it's good for the sport overall.
Yeah, we use them to help win championships, conference, national championships. Then they go back and beat us.
But to be fair,
so it was balanced out.
Yeah,
right?
I personally don't believe we should be the nation that says, go away, Frenchie, you can't train here. I do like that we bring everyone here.
Does any Americans go to a different country and train?
I'm trying to remember the last time that's happened. I'm sure it has.
I was thinking like they would only go to Australia.
Theoretically, you could have some go to Canada. They tried doing national centers, but they end up...
Doesn't Cuba have more medals this year so far than anybody else? Cuba and then the United States is next.
No.
I thought we had
I heard that this morning.
We're way out front in the total medal count. I think we just tied China in the gold.
Yeah.
So
we're beating everybody from the last time I looked at it.
Well, I would think this.
I haven't watched any of it, but I missed the medal count.
The Cuban swimmers should be pretty good. They swim to Miami and swim back.
Yeah.
That's
but they got to swim through that E. coli river they got over there.
These damn illegals are ruining everything. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Today is Wednesday. World famous J. Michael Spaghetti. Cannot wait. It will be packed packed out lunch and dinner. And there's another great special if you're over in Lynn Haven. Beef O'Brae's Lynn Haven, 10 wings on the side for $9.99. You can't beat that. Get out and have a great time. Either one of these great establishments. And if you're getting ready to close, I've got several friends that are moving away to North Carolina. Scott Shepard, Cindy Shepard, and Scott coached with us 20-something years at Arnold. I don't know how many years he coached Arnold, but a long time. And Cindy was a teacher there also. They are moving, and their son Eric, that played for me at Cape Coral, they're moving to, I forgot the name of the town, North Carolina. But when you go into closing, man, you don't want any surprise. This stuff's got to be done right the first time. You're talking money's involved. You're buying a house, getting ready to buy another one. It's got to be done correctly. That's what Chuck Tucker does. They do an incredible job. That's the reason they're expanding throughout Northwest Florida. That's why all the elite realtors want to use them. Nothing is ever wrong. South Oak Title and Closing, number one, not even close. Not even close. They are the champions of real estate closing. Also, we're really excited about having that Cajun place is back. Brian and I will be there a lot this football season. You can actually going to get there before 11. You watch game day.
If I'm ever in town, yeah, I'm there.
Watch the 11 o'clock kickoff. Now, if you're LSU and Saint fan, this is where you want to be. But believe me, you won't be by yourself. There are going to be Alabama people, Georgia, Florida, Florida State. It's like going to a ball game. It's mixed, big time mixed. But if you're LSU and Saints fan, when they score a touchdown, either team, Saturdays LSU scores, Saints on Sundays, you get a free Jell-O shot for LSU and Saint fans. I think I'll probably just wear an LSU shirt down there a couple times.
There you go. That brings a whole
I might have two shirts.
Can somebody film Coach Hale taking Jell-O shots for me, please?
That brings a whole new meaning to high score.
There you go. It does.
So you want them to run the score up, right?
That's right.
Anyway.
A high scoring game.
So, but my question was, I asked this Monday, if you're on the team that's letting them score, shouldn't you get it like a complimentary Jell-O?
Exactly. Also, Stevenson Air Conditioning, the heat, the humidity, the heat index has been brutal.
Yesterday.
Brutal. You make sure you have Stevenson Air Conditioning. If you're having a hard time, it's just running and it's not getting cooler, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll come out and service it, or they'll let you know, hey, it's time to shoot this thing, get something new. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one, and not even close. And one of Glenn's favorite places, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, right across the street from the Navy base. They got the best happy hour anywhere. Buy one, get one free. Lunch specials Monday through Friday. Oh, my goodness. Thursday night karaoke. They're still waiting for Glenn. Big Elvis, Little Elvis. When will Glenn and Jim show up? I don't know.
Contract dispute.
We'll be right back with Jeremy Brown, I hope. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you ready to go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back. ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long. With David Hayes.
Touchdown, Mosley Dolphins.
And Kyle Wright.
And the interception turns into points for the Mosley offense.
As the Mosley Dolphins take on rivals Niceville, Rutherford, and the Bay Tornadoes. Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 95 with a moderate breeze coming out of the west-southwest around 15 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 84. Tomorrow, sunny with a gentle breeze and a temperature near 91. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 90 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Attention homeowners, are you dreaming of a backyard oasis? Look no further than S&R Fencing, your go-to destination for quality outdoor transformations. At S&R, they specialize in crafting custom fences, decks, retainer walls, and all exterior construction that not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also stands the test of time. Their experienced team takes pride in delivering top-notch craftsmanship with a personal touch. S&R Fencing, locally owned, licensed, and insured, and a member of the BBB.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out.
Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out.
Pour Downy in the rinse change.
Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes 100% of odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
Lots of force on this one. Hello, Chop House. A 2-run homer.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
First Wednesday in September. And we're back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. 1, 2, 3. It'll be 4 weeks from today.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay, good. All right, we bring him on right now. The man, state championship coach, Bay High School, Coach Jeremy Brown. Coach, how you doing this morning?
Doing good, guys. How you doing this morning?
Well, I'm doing great. Glenn's in here, so I'm happy. He's been sitting on my lap all morning.
Stealing donuts.
Yeah.
Nibbling on donuts, yep.
And Brian's here, too.
Yeah, exactly.
And Wildcat. Wildcat's always here. Anyway, hey, listen, I tell you, man, I don't know. I overdid it yesterday. Out in the sun all day doing stuff. Then I went and walked from 5:30 to 6:30, and it hit me. I mean, that's the first time I've ever had this heat exhaustion or whatever it's called. Even today, I'm struggling with this thing. I got dizzy. How in the world are you guys handling this heat index when it's over 105? What was it yesterday? It was way up there yesterday. Talk about that, how the kids done dealing with the heat, and how are you trying to make sure nobody has an issue with it?
Yeah, one of the things I think, the huge benefit nowadays is we're able to have the kids all summer, so we're able to kind of, really, really, really get them acclimated to the heat, you know what I mean, throughout the summer, and you know what I mean, and you're not in such a breakneck rush to, if it gets so hot, if you got to go in the gym, you got to go in the gym, you know what I mean, to do some, agilities and things like that. But yesterday was the hottest day, and one of the things we did was we do it every day. We don't have like necessary. The kids know when they need to go get water, we have water bottles and our water tankers all over the field. They know they can go get water anytime they want. We got coolers set up outside with cold rags, so they know anytime during a break or if they're not in the drill, they can walk over and get that cold towel and throw it over their head for 10, 15 seconds and get back in the drill. And then one of the things we did yesterday, I actually texted the coaches yesterday before we got out on the field and told them that during practice, anytime they were doing any install, you know what I mean, walk through, a non-contact drill, even though we had pads on, let the kids pop their helmets off. And, you know what I mean, so to keep their body temperature down, you know what I mean, and just trying to get everybody to understand that, we're really looking for quality over quantity, you know what I mean? So that means, we were only on the field yesterday for about an hour and a half, but we wanted to make sure that hour and a half was productive, and it really was.
Let me ask you this. Your schedule, I looked at your schedule. I think it's brutal. That's just my opinion. Did Glenn make that for you before he left, or did you make that schedule? That's a tough schedule now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to take ownership for that one. You know what I mean? It's kind of odd. There were some teams that we had, played that we planned on having a 2-year deal with that backed out of the second year of the deal, and a lot of the smaller 1A schools, don't want to play us for some reason. So I called Coach Price over at Madison County. He's a good friend of mine, and he has a hard time finding games, and I couldn't find the games. We thought this would be a good little spin it over to Scambia as a friend of mine, and he was looking for games, and so him and I were doing a home and home, and and I feel like if you're gonna get your program to where you want to get, and you want to try to get in the playoffs and win a couple of playoff games, you're not only going to have to play some tough games, but you're going to have to play some tough games on the road. And you know what I mean, going to Niceville for the kickoff classic, going to Escambia and going to Madison County. I mean, if we're fortunate enough to make it to the playoffs, I don't think we'll play in an environment any more intimidating than any three of those.
Yeah, that's true. Are you good enough you always got good skill players. Are you going to be good enough up front on both sides of the ball to have the kind of year you want to have?
Yeah, we feel like, offensive line-wise, we're bringing all the guys back from last year. They're a year older, a year stronger, and we're going to be pretty big up front. And we had a couple of transfers in, and is going to allow us to move Jacoby Smith, who played offensive line for us last year. He'll be a primary defensive player. He's about 350 pounds, and he's got good explosion, really strong. So we're excited about him, and then we got a guy, a kid that played for us last year. It was his first year ever playing football. Kid named Yazid. Yazid's about 6'5", 320, and he didn't play a lot for us last year because football was just so new to him. But this past spring, we moved him over to the defensive side of the ball, the D line, and he's come along really well. And so we're going to have 300 pounders at defensive tackle. So we're pretty excited about that.
Wow, that's some big boys right there. That's crazy. What are you hearing? Who won the sweepstakes? Summer mover, everybody moving around, jumping around, turning around, picking a bale of cotton. Where's everybody at? I mean, it's like every year people transfer in, transfer out. Who did well this summer?
Yeah, it seemed like there was a mass exodus at North Bayhaven, and Bozeman picked up quite a few of those kids. I know Mosley got a couple. Arnold got some. We got some. So that was pretty evenly distributed. The moving around and everything, man, it's just crazy every year. You're like, as a coach, you're like, you go through the whole summer, but you're really holding your breath until the first day of practice, because up until that first day of practice, they can go wherever they want.
Have you heard any rumors or anything, and you can make it up if you want to, NIL throughout the county, anybody making big money, any school, have you heard anything like that at all?
No, I haven't. I haven't really heard anything. I know that our big wide receiver, tight end Javar, he's talked with Jason over at MaxFit about a NIL type of deal. I have no idea what they've talked about, but I know that there's been some there's been some discussion there. I don't know in Panama City at this level if we'll have kids making a bunch of money. You know what I mean? We may have some kids get a value meal at McDonald's or somewhere like that every now and again for posting something on social media, or or something like that. So far I don't think that's really taken off and hit us here just yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
I want to ask you, you saw it firsthand. Auburn is just knocking out of the ballpark in recruiting, especially in the state of Alabama, dominating recruiting. And you were there. I think you were actually there. I thought I saw a picture of you there. Big Cat Weekend. Talk about that. And you had some of your boys there. What is so special about Big Cat Weekend?
Yeah, man, it was. I've always heard about it, but I've never got to go. And then, Javar got invited to go, and so me and my son JJ, he'll be a freshman this year at Bay High. We went. We took Javar up there, and man, it's the first thing that caught my attention. Man, I hadn't been to their new athletics facility since they built it. The last time I was up there at a clinic, they were building it, and it was just amazing, man. I mean, it's the facilities, the locker room, the training room, film rooms. I mean, everything. But I think the thing that's neat about Big Cat Weekend, man, is it's a whole. I mean, you're there all day on Saturday, and you don't talk any football. Like they're not camping, they're not recruiting, they're not watching film or anything. Man, the kids they did scavenger hunts and played cornhole, and they had 5 or 6 TVs set up with the new NCAA game on the PS5. You're eating, the parents are there. It's just like a big family, just kind of a big family, like a reunion, type of environment. And they just had food on top of food, and it was just, man, I could see as a recruit how that could really, really, really influence the kid and make him think like, man, this is the type of environment I want to be in.
Yeah, they're knocking out of the ballpark. How much time we got? I got 1 minute. Jeremy, real quick, I wish I had more time. We got Dr. Ward coming on in a minute. But, baseball has been the king around here for a long time. Football was there. We're getting it back. You see these other schools, are they improving? Do you think it's going to be competitive here? Or are we just going to have 1 or 2 teams dominate football like most counties now?
No, I think we're on a trend where every team in the county is going to be competitive. I think I was telling Britt Smith at the back to school rally the other day that he knocked it out of the park when they hired Jason out at Arnold. He's Jason's a really good friend of mine, a heck of a football coach, great with kids, and then Jason was able to put together a great staff with Kevin Pettis and his son Trey, and obviously Tommy Joe over at Mosley has done a great job. I think they did a great job of I think we came in those 8 years and put some things in place, and he's done a great job of carrying it forward and progressing it. And I think Albert over at Rutherford, getting some kids out and getting some buy-in. And so I feel like we're on a trend, man, where those especially the four of the big schools, you know what I mean? I think they're on a trend to everybody be competitive, and year in and year out, you don't know who's going to win each one of those county games.
Right. I certainly hope so. Listen, thank you so much. It's almost time to get you guys back on here once a week. The week of the regular season, I think that's a Monday the 19th. We're going to start calling everybody. And, of course, Wednesday is Bay Day, and we'll be talking to you every Wednesday. And we appreciate your time, and good luck. And stay safe out there, man. Keep those kids safe.
Yes, sir, Coach. You do the same thing, man. Don't be out there passing out when you're walking now.
I know it, man. Hell, Glenn was throwing bottles at me. Anyway. All right, I'll see you later. Thank you, buddy.
All right, Coach. Yeah,
bye. Hey, Dr. Chad Mitchell, I might have to go see you, man. That one ball you threw, that hurt, Glenn. He was playing golf. I'm walking. He's throwing things at me.
He said he didn't throw the club.
Well, listen, if you'd have stayed in the middle of the fairway, you wouldn't have been hit.
That's a good point. If you get any type of injury, call Chad Mitchell. This will be his 25th year on Bay County sidelines, 25 years giving up his weekends to take care of high school athletics. The legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell. You listen to him right here on Mondays, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road, one of the great places around here. You love barbecue, that's only one place to go. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Rudy's Barbecue. And they cater. Bay High School, especially when Glenn Mann was the athletic director there, they use them quite a bit in catering. You should do the same thing. You're a principal out there. You want to take care of your faculty or your coaching staff. It's Rudy's. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Glenn Manley. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you ready to go under the lights? Mosley Dolphin football is back.
Wide open down the sideline.
ESPN Northwest Florida brings you live play-by-play coverage all season long. With David Hayes.
Touchdown, Mosley Dolphins.
And Kyle Wright.
You take the top off the defense, and the interception turns into points for the Mosley offense.
Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Mike Atkinson. For the last 16 years, you've trusted my leadership at the Walton County Sheriff's Office. In that time, UCR crime rates have dropped 67%. That's no coincidence. You can count on me to serve with continued professionalism and provide the excellent hometown service you want. At our agency, excellence matters, as our law enforcement, fire rescue, and animal services are the first on scene. On Tuesday, August 20th, vote to re-elect Atkinson for Walton County Sheriff.
Paid for by Michael Atkinson Jr., Republican, for Sheriff.
At Brock Lawn and Pest Control, we're proud to be awarded the distinction of being Quality Pro certified.
Our technicians have passed rigorous training in eco-friendly application and prevention of pest treatments.
Part of the program is the practice of integrated pest management.
IPM's goal is to prevent pests from ever entering your home. It includes inspection, prevention, education, and, when necessary, application.
We're proud to be Quality Pro certified.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, the standard and level of trust.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
I'm kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
just looking for a soul.
I like that song. We'll be right back. Oh, no, we'll be right back. We are back. We are back. 104.3.
How long were you in the heat?
I'm telling you, I'm not right. 104.3.
Well,
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's been a great show today.
That might not even be the heat.
Let's bring him on. I got some questions for him because he's a doctor. We don't have him?
We do not have him, but Verizon or one of the carriers is having a problem. I've gotten several phone calls from other people trying to get a hold of other people.
Well, here,
and
come here.
I got his number and I called him.
It's still not working?
It's still not working.
Yeah, please don't read that out over the air.
I just talked to him. Mine's working. You said yours wasn't working either?
I can't call the station.
I'll keep Okay, well, I'll try to call him.
Yeah, we're going to keep trying to call him again.
Don't yell out his number on the radio.
His number is...
Abort!
His personal cell number is...
Oh, God.
And this is his wife.
Well, apparently everybody's social security number's out there. Let's just give that out, too, you know?
Unbelievable.
We don't have that yet. We don't have
Let me see if mine works. That's weird. I've got all these people calling and say we can't call in.
Yeah. That's it, yeah.
I'm sure they wanted to join in our enthralling discussion of the first 15 minutes. Is
Yeah,
what it
I'm
is,
sure.
you know?
Hey, man, golly, what is it? 215-6290.
Yeah.
Just bear with us. We're trying to get this thing straight.
Live radio, folks. Here we go.
Talk about something, Coach.
Hey, we
Mine's not working either.
Dead air, Coach. Well, talk into that microphone.
That dead air sometimes good. Makes them want live air. All right, we're trying to get him.
Well,
we're working. We are working.
Apologize, folks. You have to listen to us that much longer on a Wednesday.
I'm going to try a little phone trickery and see.
Trick him up, baby. Trick him up.
You going to try putting it back on the hanger there?
Are you talking to me?
No, I was talking to him.
We're trying. He's
on
trying.
the hook. That's what I was looking for. The hook. God, it's been so long. Phone off the hook.
No, maybe y'all can help me. I want to ask Dr. Ward because Jason and I we didn't know what the correct deal was with these boxing at the Olympics of women, and we don't know if they're truly men or women or we didn't understand it.
It's not a case of like what we've been dealing with as a country where it's an actual male who identifies as a female. It's not that. What this is very similar if you're familiar with the Caster Semenya situation, which was a runner about 8-10 years ago, maybe even longer than that. It's actually the way they're born. It's a chromosomal defect's the wrong word, but difference, let's say, differentiation, to where they do have a lot of male traits, but they've been raised their entire life a female. So what it would be essentially is a female with incredibly elevated levels of testosterone. So now you get into the problem.
Was that brought on?
That's what's going on.
Steroids or no?
Well, I mean, it could. You can certainly elevate your testosterone through HGH, through testosterone, or through steroids or things like that. But this is more than likely a genetic issue. The problem becomes, obviously, when you have the social element of an identification, it's a little easier to decide your line, right? One way or the other, it's easier to decide. What you're talking about here is a lot more difficult in the sense that what you essentially have is a female with highly, highly elevated levels of testosterone, which the elevation of testosterone is the impetus behind the split between men and women. It just usually falls along gender lines. So the whole issue is the testosterone, but the fact is we're not really talking about a man here the way we are in other situations. This one's tough, and it makes it that much harder in a combat sport where the ramifications are pretty brutal. Now, that being said, this fighter's record against women's like 10-5. It's not like they're an unbeatable juggernaut, but it does raise some questions.
Now, I heard there were two of them.
There are two. There's one I think is... I don't think Chinese, but I think either maybe South Korean or Filipino or something like that. And then the other one is Algerian. Mm-hmm. And I think Jason was correctly talking about it. We know it's not a situation of changing gender in Algeria because they'll kill you for that. Yeah. But that's what this is. And this is a really, honestly, it's a difficult thing to figure out because This one's tough. It's not as clear cut as, like I said, the Leah Thomas and those kind of situations.
Wildcat, we have got to get these phones. Mark Cloud 8:30, Dr. Ward 7:30.
Yeah, we can't let Brian talk anymore.
What I tried to do, what I tried to do just now is get the operator involved, and I gave her your credit card number.
She ain't gonna get very far with that.
Yeah, how'd you know? She turned it down. She said, "Sorry."
Be careful, because he's hacked us. That could have been mine or Brian's.
And I just got a great text. Since we're not be able to get Dr. Ward on the phone, can we talk Alabama football? Thank you so much for that text.
Oh, my.
Did you send that to yourself?
Yeah.
No. They are, okay, Dr. Ward just texted in, they are men, XY male.
Yeah.
XY male. Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, from a chromosomal standpoint, yeah, probably. I mean, not in the sense that we're thinking. No. Okay. Not necessarily. I mean, the other problem is some of these cases are cases of transvestite, where they actually have both. And that makes it that much more different as well. Why'd you look at Glenn when I said that? That's kind of funny. But yeah.
Is that your kinfolk?
So that's why this is difficult. To Dr. Ward's point, in terms of chromosomal, body makeup, in terms of testosterone level, they are essentially male. The difference is in that it's now in, this is, again, it's not a case of a choice to say I simply identify as a female because I want to be a female. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying this is different than the clear-cut
What are
cases.
the rules? Aren't they rules?
Every sport has their own, is part of the issue.
The Olympics is
But it
different.
depends. I don't know all of the intricacies of every sport. A lot of them do it purely on a testosterone basis. Some of them will allow you, like swimming will allow you to identify change, but you have to show 3 or 4 years of lower testosterone, this, that, or the other to go in, which usually most athletes won't do. It totally depends upon the sport. And how they address the issue. To me, the combat sports should be the ones that should be the most protective, because that's the one where you run the greatest significance of bodily harm. But we've seen people get hurt in volleyball from male identifying as female. Everything is done at a totally different speed and intensity when you're talking about bigger, stronger, faster athletes, and you can get injured in everything. So. Yep.
That's the response.
That is correct. If they do take testosterone, they're disqualified, but these athletes have elevated levels of testosterone. That's correct. And some of them do go through puberty and full male development. So, again, my only point is that it's not as clear cut as an identification issue. But I think ultimately, if we're separating men's and women's sports, then the nature of the testosterone imbalance is a critical one for us. So we're going to have to address it. I just don't have the answer. I really don't.
Now, are they going to be allowed? Did they actually fight one another?
Yeah.
Who won?
The Algerian is through to the final.
Is that the one that almost killed the girl?
She didn't almost kill the girl, but yeah, she hit her pretty darn hard.
Yeah.
She figured out, okay, I had enough of this.
Yeah, I mean, the other girl was just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I mean, it's but yeah, it's.
I had to do that Smitty one day in here. He got the message. He had it.
Yeah.
Well, you got the phones fixed yet?
It's not our phones.
And to be fair, it would be great to get Ward on this, because he's going to know significantly more about the science of this than I do.
And I'm still trying.
And he disagrees.
That's fine. Yeah. I'm not taking one side or the other. All I'm saying is that this is very different than an identification issue.
Yeah. Why are we having these? Has this happened before in the past?
Caster Semenya with running is the famous case where she actually had both. And had an advantage, a clear advantage. And for a while, track and field denied her and then allowed her. It's very different. It very well, we could be against it as much as we are the other. All I'm saying is it's a different discussion than the identification, which I think is much more a social issue than it is, anything else.
Bill Shields, love you. Yes, we will get to this shortly. We're trying our best to get Dr. Ward on the phone. Yeah. We're going to try our best to get Mark McLeod. If we don't, we're just going to go to a national show. I'm not prepared for that.
How does that ever stop us?
You're not the only one that the heat has affected, obviously.
Looks like the telephones are taking a beating, too.
Yeah, I think it's the Verizon network. I hate to trash somebody, but everybody else, I haven't had any problems getting hold
to
of.
one point I think Dr. Ward was trying to make that I do agree with is we do have to protect females especially in combat sports. And it may be very indelicate to someone who, through no fault of their own genetically, was born a certain way. But we've got to protect females. We just do.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Paparazzi Pizza, if you love pizza, and Glenn does. Get down to Paparazzi. They got a bar in there now. You can go watch all sporting events, have a great pizza, lasagna, spaghetti, and the desserts are incredible. The Paradise Cake, the Napoleon. Oh, my God, they got great stuff down Paparazzi Deli, Paparazzi Pizza, right there on Thomas Drive. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You'll look better, feel better. Jason Kowaleski can make that happen for you. He'll be here Friday with Brian. This coming up Friday. Looking forward to that. You want to look better, feel better, Glenn? Jason can make it happen.
He's worked on me, but he ain't got the tall pill yet. I'm not sure what's it.
Dr. Ward.
You can't do nothing with ugly either.
One in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly if it does not look right. If it doesn't feel right, call Dr. Ward. Don't put it off. 5 minutes can save your life. The guy's incredible. Throughout Northwest Florida, offices everywhere.
Right.
Newbies, 4 great locations. Yeah, I said 4, not 3. 4 great locations. One's at St. Andrews, and the 3 originals. Get out there and have a great time. The best bands in the Southeast every Friday and Saturday night at the Mothership because Charlotte wants it, and she gets what she wants.
Yeah. Wildcat, Jason told me that beauty's only skin deep, but ugly goes all the way to the bone.
To the bone. To the bone.
And we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
For 7 years, ESPN Northwest Florida has been your destination on the Panhandle for the Atlanta Braves.
He just blew the doors off that thing.
But our listeners are the real MVP.
Another dominating performance.
So this year, we're giving away more tickets to Truist Park than ever before. Keep listening to win family 4-packs to experience the Atlanta Braves. From ESPN Northwest Florida, PCB Hobby, Pepsi, Fairfield, Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 95 with a moderate breeze coming out of the west-southwest around 15 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 84. Tomorrow, sunny with a gentle breeze and a temperature near 91. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 90 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Then here's a great idea. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. Fast, free towing, and 24-hour response. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families, and you get a tax deduction. All you need to do is make this free call. Get rid of that old car and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now and book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Donation Program now. Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-932-1176. 800-932-1176. 800-932-1176. That's 800-932-1176.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
He's the sexiest man on the planet.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Yeah, Coach Siegel's smart. He got he kept it simple. You want to say what he said?
No, I did. I could just say Yeah.
If you grab and feel something, you'll know.
Be like the Italian. Be like the Italian.
I'm just practicing to enter politics one day, apparently.
I guess.
Turn your head and cough, please.
Dr. Ward, I apologize for this.
Yeah.
I think it's certain phones
It's not
working.
us. We're fine because we can make hard line calls all over the country.
Brian tried to call in and it didn't work on his phone.
No.
Who are you with?
AT&T.
That they all jump off the same tower. We've got a local tower down somewhere. That's what's going on.
Okay.
It ain't the whole network.
All right, let's get into some. You want to do FSU now?
Sure.
Let's do some FSU. How about that?
All right. Are we ready?
Take off. Hey. Florida State. Woo! FSU update. It's brought to you by Newbies. Get out, Newbies. Have a great time. Newbie 2 on the curve. It is back. It's open. It's beautiful. Go check it out. You'll have a great time. Watch all sporting events. Then head on down to the mothership. Charlotte, just like I told you a minute ago. They scout for the best. They get the best. They pay for the best. And it's for you. It's for your entertainment. And people have a great time at all the Newbies, especially the motherships, every Friday and Saturday night. Glenn, what do you have for us today?
Well, first
on your
of all,
Newbies
I'll let
update?
you. We had a great wrestling coach text in, and I'm going to give you his initials, Andy Siegel. And so what he said is they used the 5-in-1 test, and I can't tell you how they do that, but you'd have to contact him. But it's a very scientific way of doing it. But it's let your imagination run away with you. But that's the way it goes. So thank you, Coach Siegel. We appreciate it. All right, FSU on the preseason All ACC team. We have 4 people there. Only Miami has more. They have 5. And so, but ours are 2 linemen. They got the most votes of the linemen. From Pensacola High, Darius Washington, offensive tackle, got 93 votes. Maurice Smith, the center, got 62 votes. And no defensive tackle, Josh Farmer out of Port St. Joe, got 75, most of any defensive lineman. And punter Alex Mastromanno, he got 81 votes, and he averaged over 45.5 yards a punt. So, and to win the ACC, they have, this is Brian's area, ACC, FSU plus 290, and if to win the national championship, plus 2,800, excuse me. All right, and then back-to-back seasons we've been put in since 2017, we've been back-to-back in the top 10 in preseason. In 2025, also, we're looking for a 4A running back, Brian Lewis. He's a finalist. FSU is a finalist along with Georgia, Miami, and then this is one that gets me, Wisconsin. So you want to be in the deep south all the way to the frozen north. I'm not sure about that. Also, this weekend, the FSU soccer team will host TCU Friday at 7 p.m. That is free admission. That is an exhibition match for the soccer team. Now we have some 2025 commits that I just went with some of the 5-stars and 4-stars who are for 2025. 5-star offensive tackle Solomon Thomas out of Jacksonville Reigns, 6'4", 315 pounds. 24th nationally, number 1 in his position, and also number 2 in the state of Florida. Next one is a 4-star edge rusher, Javion Hilson, 6'3", 235. He is out of Cocoa Beach, Florida. Nationally, he's ranked 44th. His position is 3rd, and in the state, he's number 7. And then 4-star defensive lineman Kevin Wynn, 6'2", 320 pounds, out of Greensboro, Georgia. He is rated number 58 in the nation. Number 8 is his position, and number 10 in the state of Georgia. An offensive guard, Peyton Joseph, 6'3", 309, out of Warren Robins, Georgia. He is number 133 in the nation, number 7 at his position, and number 17 in the state of Georgia. And then the last but not least, 4-star wide receiver Malik Clark, 6'2", 183, out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. He is number 212 in national. He is number 24 in his position, and in the state of South Carolina, he is number 3. And so we want to those guys are coming in, and there's other guys, and I'll get to those in just a few minutes. But after yesterday's practice, today they will be in Jacksonville practicing and having a little scrimmage. They will be in there for a couple of days. They will be at the University of North Florida field, all the fields there practicing. And then here's the thing that they took away from the practice on Tuesday, and they practiced this morning, and it was I was on the air before they put out any kind of report. But the three takeaways they got from yesterday was that Luke Cromenhoek was had one of his best days. He threw a lot of the little needles and dime shots, and he moved the team down the field, and they let him do a lot more yesterday than they had in a couple of days just to get him going in there. So, and I hadn't heard a lot about Brock Glenn, so I don't know what's going on there. So we'll see what goes on there. Other thing is the special teams. They are looking really good. Of course, Mastermino is supposed to be the #1 punter in the ACC, and then the Groza Award. Fitzgerald has really worked on his consistency. He taught yesterday in practice, he made a 57-yarder, but he said what he's really working on is anything inside the 50. You want to be consistent. That's where the money is, consistency inside the 50. And also, yesterday they had a really big job of They did pass catching consistency. Got really good at the end, but the first part it was like it was a hot potato. They dropped some wide open, and so they had to, at the end though they made some great catches, going to get the ball at the highest point and things like that. So they're really proud of those. And then also the people that are going to commit, these are three of the top commits that we're looking forward to in August. August the 7th, which is today, offensive lineman Josh Petty is going to be between Florida State, Ohio State, and Georgia Tech. The experts seem to think FSU will be on top of that because his sister is actually getting enrolled at Florida State now, so I think it's going to be a family thing. August the 17th, defensive back Bryce Fitzgerald. It's going to be down between FSU, University of Florida, Miami. The experts still think it's going to be FSU. We're not sure about that. Then August 23rd, defensive back Onus Kanabana. I think I said that right. I could have messed it up bad. But, it's down between FSU and Tennessee, and they think he's leaning towards Tennessee, but we're not. We're hoping at FSU. And then this guy, sometime in August, we're not really sure, Ladarian Clardy, he is right now waiting on it. He's a defensive back, but he's waiting on some kind of NIL deal. It's between FSU, Ole Miss, and Washington. People think he may be getting a better deal from Ole Miss, so we're not sure how that's going to float out. But anyway, we think that's it. So that's what's going on in FSU. They're at Jacksonville the next couple of days. We'll see what's going on, and that's it.
I'm hearing good things out of Tallahassee. That's good. They're going to be good. All right, here's somebody else's. We had the coaches poll just came out. Here's the latest on one of these big-time, Joel Flack, I believe is his name. Preseason top 25, a little bit different than the coaches, USA Today coaches poll. Number one, the Ohio State Buckeyes. If you remember, Georgia was number one in the coaches poll. Georgia's number two. Texas number 3, Oregon number 4. All four of those were in the top 4 in the coaches poll. Number 5, not Alabama. Number 5 is Ole Miss. Number 6, Notre Dame. Number 7, Michigan Wolverines. I'm not buying into that one. There. Number 8, Oklahoma. Number 9, Number 8, Alabama. Number 9, Utah. Number 10, Penn State. Number 11, Missouri. Number 12, Miami. Number 13, FSU. Number 14, Southern Cal. 15th, Oklahoma. 16th, Kansas State. 17th, Oklahoma State. 18th, Tennessee. 19th, LSU. 20th, Kansas. 21, Arizona. And Clemson, way back at 22. Number 23, Nebraska. 24, Iowa. And number 25, Texas A&M. When we get back, what we've been waiting for, the University of Alabama update brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. But we want to thank Newbies again for the FSU update, and we want to thank Glenn Manley for doing all that research. And what a wonderful job you do, Glenn. Well, great job.
Thank you.
Great job. Appreciate you, man.
Pat myself on the back here.
I wish we get everybody to. Hey, we giving away.
Why don't you leave me alone today?
We give anything away today?
No, we will on Friday when you're gone.
Okay, good.
Brian gets to get
Are you gone again on Friday?
I'm going. I might be
But
going.
congratulations to Carl Thornton, who was yesterday's winner of
From
the
Fort
four-pack
Walton
of-
Beach that listens to us every day. Thank you, Carl.
Yeah,
your
him and his whole
beautiful
construction crew. Yeah.
good people. Good,
So,
true
thank you,
Americans,
Carl.
workers.
Yep.
They go and work where other people don't have to. God
Four-pack
bless them.
of tickets to the Atlanta Braves baseball game. Mm-hmm. Cool, huh?
That's awesome.
Gonna do it again Friday.
Don't forget now.
Well, if he's got a construction company, at least you ought to give him 8 tickets.
If you want,
You got to give yours up.
if you want your yard to look absolutely beautiful, Turf Pro Pest Control can make that happen for you. Pat will be in here every Monday at 8:30. Looking forward to this coming up Monday. Him with Dr. Chad Mitchell. Turf Pro Pest Control, number one. Your yard is not looking right. You're not pleased with it. You want to have a big party down the road. College football season getting ready to start. Call Patrick. Turf Pro will be out there. They'll get a game plan up. They execute it. Your yard look beautiful. Hey, I want jewelry. Where am I going?
You were going to go to David Adamson's Fine Jewelry. You're going to go talk to Russ Klinger. And we want to say hello to his wife, Mrs. Klinger. She's a new listener and a new fan, so I'm told, of the show. And also we want to say hi to Amber Anderson, who is the new partner down there.
She lives on Panama City Beach.
Yeah, David Adamson Fine Jewelry. She's a partner. All you got to do is, if you want it appraised, if you want it fixed, if you want to sell it, all you got to do is go to David Adamson Fine Jewelry, 830 Highway 77 in Lynn Haven.
Don't forget today, the legendary Jay Michaels, Wednesday and Wednesday only. World famous spaghetti's outstanding. And at Beef Row Brazen Lynn Haven now, don't forget about this. 10 wings inside, only on Wednesday for $9.99. You ccannot beat it. Patrick Perno does a great job over there. And we're really pleased to have that Cajun place back with us. We have best wings you'll get anywhere for this college football season. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 95 with a moderate breeze coming out of the west-southwest around 15 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 84. Tomorrow, sunny with a gentle breeze and a temperature near 91. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 90 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a place that feels like home right in the heart of Panama City? Well, look no further than Charlie Corm's place at their new location on 15th Street. Charlie Corm's is not just a place, it's an experience. Imagine cozy corners, friendly faces, and the aroma of delicious dishes that'll make your taste buds dance. From sunrise breakfast to late night bites, Charlie Corm's on 15th Street has it all. Charlie Corm's place on 15th Street is now offering exclusive weekday lunch specials. Visit Charlie Corm's place on 15th Street. Look for the giant mural.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lynn Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Bonafide and qualified.
Live and local from the J. Michaels Studio.
Certified.
From the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Number one country in the Southeast. No doubt about that. Locals taking care of locals throughout Northwest Florida. If you have any problem, anytime, day or night, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Call Jason. They'll come out. They'll solve all issues. They do an incredible job. Most honest, best company, best people I've ever dealt with. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Alabama update. Let's get into it. Alabama, they ranked ESPN. Now, everybody has an opinion. 24/7, on 3, CBS. Now we got ESPN. They ranked the top 25 hardest schedules. I'm going to go through them pretty quickly, and then I want to get into one other thing before. Coming in, and I think we all agree with. I'll tell you what, I'm going to start at the bottom, way down. Number 25 out of the Big Ten, Maryland. Their schedule's pretty tough for a Big Ten team. Number 24, Wisconsin. Number 23, LSU. Number 22, Missouri. I'm sorry, Ole Miss. Ole Miss. I think their schedule's pretty easy, except for Georgia. 21, Arkansas. 20, Texas A&M. 19, Michigan State. 18th, and it is tough, Michigan. Number 17, South Carolina.
Seeing a theme here, Glenn.
Number 16, the Ohio State Buckeyes. 15th, Illinois. 14, Vandy. Vandy should be the toughest schedule in the country because of what they play with. 13th, Washington. 14th is Georgia. Is 12th. I'm sorry, Georgia's 12th. I take that back.
You want me to read that for you?
UCLA. UCLA is 12th.
Can't tell if his reading or his math is bad. Probably both.
So that's what sunstroke is like.
Something ain't right. Maybe it's a stroke in
I
general.
think you got the wrong finger on there. That's why.
Maybe
I can't help that. I can't help that.
Maybe it's being educated in Montgomery and Hattiesburg.
Yeah. 11th is Purdue, and here are your top 10 hardest schedules in college football. Number 10, Texas. Number 9, Georgia Tech. Number 8, Tennessee. Number 7, Oklahoma. Number 6, the Alabama Crimson Tide has the 6th toughest schedule in the nation. Number 5, the Auburn Tigers. Number 4, Kentucky. Number 3, Georgia. Number 2, Mississippi State. Number 1, the Florida Gators. I think all those teams in the top 8 are in the SEC.
I have a question.
9 out of the top 10 are in the SEC. Yes.
If I heard that right, and kind of got lost in that 12 to 14 when you were fumbling all over the letters, but only one of the 25 there was either not in the Big Ten or the SEC.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech, the only one I saw.
Your top 10, you had 9 from the SEC, Georgia Tech from the ACC.
Wow.
Purdue is 11 from the
Big Ten.
In the Big Ten, UCLA is Big Ten. Now, Washington, Big Ten. Yeah. Vandy, SEC.
It's
Illinois.
all SEC Big Ten.
It is.
Which does make sense.
Yeah. Right. I'm trying to think.
What happened to the Pac-2?
They're not ranked. Yeah, it is. You're right. Every single
And Georgia
one.
Tech makes sense because they pick up Georgia non-conference and probably one more.
Yeah, FSU week
and
one.
they've got all the good teams in the ACC, I believe, as well.
Yeah, and that's using ESPN ranks. That's what they came up with. That's not us. That's what they came up with. All right, I want to go back to Alabama's schedule.
Well, it's not our ESPN show. It's
yesterday we picked
giant ESPN behind you.
Alabama wins losses. This particular article goes out and they give you the scores. They know what's going on. These guys.
Is this guy from
Do they?
The guys from Las Vegas?
The guy's unbelievable. And usually he's right. I think he missed one game.
I'll call
last
Danny.
year.
I'll see how right this is.
I think this is Danny.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is what they say about Alabama. Week 1 versus Western Kentucky. The score will be 52-14. I'm sorry, 57-14.
Better not give up 14.
The second game against South Florida, he predicts the score will be 45-7. I think he's wrong on that one.
No, I think there's some payback wanted on that one.
I think South Florida's better than they think. The third game at Wisconsin. This is going to be a close one. They got Bama pulling it out at the end, winning the game in a tough football game, 30-23. Alabama's secondary will be the first big test they'll get of the season right there. Then versus Georgia, Bama takes it on the chin. Alabama 21, the Georgia Bulldogs 27. Then they go back on the road at Vandy. Alabama 49, Vandy zip. They come back home. They play South Carolina, and they put on the Gamecocks 48-17.
Let's go.
Now, the big one, and I hope they're right. I worry sick about this game.
Cigar time.
At Tennessee, Alabama in an unbelievable football game. Bama 38, the Tennessee Volunteers 34.
Light them up. I love it.
We're going to have to score a lot of points to beat Tennessee. Then I think this is going to be a tough game. I don't like the matchup. Their receivers versus our DBs, I don't like. We better put pressure on the quarterback or we're going to lose. But he says, no, don't worry. Bama's going to take care of business. Missouri actually has a shot to go in this ball game being undefeated. Alabama 34. The Missouri Tigers 20. Now, 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks to get ready. I think we got 2 weeks for Georgia, too. 2 weeks to get ready. Alabama goes down to Baton Rouge, and they get revenge on the last time they went there and they lost in overtime. Bama, 38. LSU, 17. I don't know about that. 38 to 17.
That falls in line with, I got a funny feeling about LSU this year. I think they're going to really struggle. And my hot take of the year is I do not think Brian Kelly will be their coach next year.
Ooh.
Either he's going to get run out or it's going to be hot enough that he decides to leave, and I think he may end up somewhere else in the conference.
Ooh. And where is that? Florida?
Might be.
Okay.
Might be.
That's interesting.
I just got a funny feeling about the way things are laying out for them this year.
If you're an elite coach, the third year you usually get it done. I think Nick got done his third year. Third year is usually a really good year if you're one of the elite coaches. It's his third year.
We'll find out.
We will find out. Defense, I worry about their defensive front. All right. At Oklahoma, I don't know. I think they got this written down. I think they had the schedule wrong. I thought they had Oklahoma the week before Auburn. I don't think we have Mercer. Anyway, Oklahoma, at Oklahoma, and it's going to be like the Tennessee game. Goes back and forth. At the end, Bama kicks a field goal and wins. Alabama 34, Oklahoma 31. And then the big one, the Iron Bowl. At Bryant-Denny, where Auburn in the past have played really well.
Pour it on.
Alabama 41.
Let's go.
Auburn Tigers 24.
3.
24. 23. I got.
No, I say 3. Not 23.
Oh, 3.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think Auburn's going to be tough.
I know, but I think they'll score more points than that. Even if they lose by 41, I think it'll be close.
My worry about Auburn is I still think they're a year away from the depth that they really need for an end of the season battle. That's what I worry about with them. I think their depth is going to hurt them.
They're going to be good. I think they're going to be good if they can stay healthy and how the quarterback plays. They got skilled players. Things are heading in the right direction. Mercer, I don't know when the Mercer game's being played, but they have Mercer getting destroyed 66-10. And so if I'm looking at it correctly, he's got Alabama going 11-1. I don't think they go 11-1. I think they lose at least 2 games.
They're going to lose one of the Tennessee or Missouri games. If they beat Tennessee, I think they're going to lose to Missouri in the next week at home or vice versa. And then I've got them.
I've
probably got them losing 2 or maybe 3. Oklahoma could. That's a tough matchup for Alabama, honestly. I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, they've got talent, but it's a whole new thing.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We already told you this humidity is crazy. The heat index is out of sight. You got Stevenson air conditioning, you have no worries. If you're having problems, it's running and you're still burning up at home, don't sit there and spend all that money on that power bill. You call Stevenson air conditioning. They'll come out and they'll solve all problems. I guarantee you that. They do an incredible job. And you know what? They do something that most companies don't do. They tell you you're going to be there. They're there. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Same thing with Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title and Closing. For all the big-time realtors. I mean, Mark sells multi-million-dollar homes down in 38. You cannot have mistakes when you're dealing with that type of money. That's the reason they all want to go to South Oak Title and Closing. They all use Chuck Tucker. They all use South Oak Title and Closing, #1. Not even close. Make sure you don't make a mistake. South Oak Title and Closing, #1. Whoo, Dr. Chad Mitchell, every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. This will be his 25th year on Bay County Sidelines. The guy is a legend. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. You want great Mexican food right across the street from the Navy Base. Happy hour, buy one, get one free this Thursday. Karaoke, go check it out and have a great time. A great place to have birthdays. Oh, my goodness. That Cajun place right here on Thomas Drive, we're extremely excited having them back. We spent a lot of time during college football down there. You know why they open up early now? You can go watch game day, and then you can watch all the games right there. They got Fox. They got it all. CBS, ABC, ESPN. You watch all the conference, all the games right there. If you're LSU and you're a Saints fan, you got to be there. Wear your colors. Show up. Every time one of these two teams score a touchdown, not points, but a touchdown, you get a free Jell-O shot. No one else is doing that for you, but they'll do it there. And don't let that intimidate you. Go wear your FSU, Alabama stuff. We always have ours on. A lot of different fan bases are there. They have great time. The best wings you'll get anywhere. That Cajun place on Thomas Drive. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest
ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for college football and the Auburn Tigers.
He's in! Touchdown Auburn!
We heard you, Tiger fans. So this season, we're airing every single game. And you can take that to the bank.
And picked off in the end zone!
Plus, the biggest games in the SEC and around the country play here on your official station for college football, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 95 with a moderate breeze coming out of the west-southwest around 15 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 84. Tomorrow, sunny with a gentle breeze and a temperature near 91. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 90 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Are you hungry for authentic Mexican cuisine? Then come to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, where we serve up the freshest, most flavorful dishes on the beach. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, a great location, comfortable atmosphere, and happy hour from 3 to 7. Buy one, get one free, regular margaritas and 12-ounce house drafts. And you're going to love their lunch specials Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. Plus live music Wednesdays and Saturdays starting at 5:30. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, Thomas Drive across from the Navy base.
It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michaels Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle, hey, Martha Kinney, James Wallama, Jenna. Hey! Eagle. Great fight song. Auburn Tigers getting better as we speak. Fall camp's going on. Good things are happening. They don't give a whole lot of information out. They got some things we could be talking about, but we're not. We're going to go a different direction today. We're going to go back in history. These are the top undefeated national championship teams and one of the best ever. Quarterback-wise, offensive-wise, I will say that, is a 2010 Auburn team, undefeated national champs. Last year's national champs, the Michigan Wolverines, undefeated also, 15-0, and that was in 2023. Auburn's national championship team was in 2010. Georgia Bulldogs out of the SEC, and remember, listen to these conferences, the Big Ten, SEC so far, and here we go with Georgia, another SEC school. 2022, they go undefeated. 2020, the toughest schedule in college football history, all SEC schools, Notre Dame and Ohio State. Bama 2020, undefeated national champ football team. Then we had LSU, 2019 was unbelievable football team, 2019 undefeated. Clemson, 2018, destroyed Alabama, undefeated team. Florida State, 2013 national championship team. And then Miami, 2001 undefeated national championship team. Oklahoma, 2000 undefeated national championship team. FSU, 1999 undefeated national championship team. And then Tennessee in 1988 undefeated national championship
98.
team. 98.
Yeah.
Now, I think the only team that won two undefeated national championships, if I'm not mistaken, was FSU. Is that correct?
Well, didn't Alabama do it in 09?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I didn't write that one down. Thank you, Brian. Alabama 09. So it's Alabama FSU.
Look at you Alabama hater.
Yeah, Alabama and
wearing your Florida shirt. Look at you,
FSU
just denying national
ones.
championships.
That's good. I'm
There
glad we
you go.
did that. Good
Nice
job.
work.
Thank you for helping me out there.
See, we listen to yours.
All right, I want to get this into Auburn to 2012 to 2023. I got that. You saw me reading as you were doing. I was worried Mark McLeod was not going to go, what the hell are we going to do? 2012 to 2023. What did Auburn do? Auburn did pretty good. This is SEC conference only record. Auburn came in sixth in the SEC. I thought it was going to be better than that. They came in sixth. They won 47.9% of their ball games in the SEC competition only. Auburn had 47 wins and 51 losses. That surprised me. The best record in the conference from 2012 to 2023 ranks number one. Alabama won incredible 89.9% of their games with a record of 89-10. The Georgia Bulldogs came in second. They won 81.4% of their games. They were 79-18 record. LSU was number three. These are all teams that won national championships, by the way. They won 65.3% of their games. They were 64-34. At number four was the Florida Gators. They won 57.5% of their ball games in SEC competition. They were 57-42. Number five, Texas A&M, 53.6% winning percentage, 52-45. It just means more in the SEC. It's tough in the SEC. Next was Missouri. They won 47.9% of their ball games, 47-51. Then it was Ole Miss. They won 46.3% of their games, 45 wins, 52 losses. Then number 9, Mississippi State, 43.8% winning percentage. They won 43 games. They lost 53. South Carolina, 43.8, same thing, same record. And then Tennessee, I forgot, Tennessee's been struggling. Tennessee, since 2012 to 2023, 39.8% record. That's terrible. 39 wins, 59 losses.
Not enough.
I didn't realize it was that bad. At number 12, Kentucky, 35.7% winning percentage. 35 wins, 63 losses. And then Arkansas. Arkansas only won 24.4% of their games. Their record's 24 wins, 74 losses. Vandy had 21.6% winning, 21 wins, 76 losses. Wow. Who's texting me? Leave me alone. What did you think about that? Were you surprised at some of these?
Yeah,
I really was. I thought Auburn would be higher.
Well,
the one that shocked me was
the
Tennessee.
problem with Auburn is 2012's included. You know, they were awful that year. That's the year they got rid of Chiswick and then brought in Malzahn. So that year, they probably only won 1 or 2 conference games that year. That was a bad year. Tennessee's about right because they had some rough year. I didn't realize it was quite that bad. Arkansas had some 0-8 years in there,
right,
so that makes sense for them. But
man, Coach,
that's got to be Eddie.
No, the phone, our phones. I had it on trying to get the.
Right. If they just tell them, we're having phone trouble. So
Why did they start with 12? Was that the year that Missouri and A&M came in? I can't remember.
It probably was.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting, certainly. But I mean, you think about it, that's only 12 years, but just think about how different Auburn is from Chiswick's last year, or how different some of these programs are completely through that time.
I wanted to ask you this, because you do quite a bit of this. You know about this kind of stuff. Moving forward, the SEC is going to adopt the rule that they're going to have injuries reported. The Big Ten did it last year, so we're kind of copying them. So for the 2020, they're talking about this year, 2024 football season, they're going to mandate reporting injuries. And there's a lot of betting that's going on.
It's the only reason to do it.
Yeah, talk about that.
It's for gamblers. I mean, pure and simple. I hate it as a coach. I don't think you ever give away any information or advantage. I think it's stupid.
So let me ask you, so did they put pressure on these people to get, hey, we need to know, a lot of money's being wagered, everybody losing money, making money, we need to know.
Yes, 100%. I mean, it's that simple. It's, it's big business, sports betting, and it's becoming legal almost everywhere.
Right.
So
you don't want a dead horse in your bed either, so you can make sure you do that.
No, it's 100% why. And I don't love it, but then again, I was a coach, so I wouldn't love it.
Right.
But it's, and I just don't like having to relay all that personal injury information anyway.
Right.
I don't
Shouldn't that
like
come under the HIPAA laws?
Theoretically. But that's why they don't disclose the actual thing. They disclose questionable, doubtful, anything like that, which, I mean, that's all gradations anyway, so I don't know. But, yeah, it's problematic, and obviously it doesn't take into account the guy who pulls his hammy in warm-up before the game, so still deal with that. But it's 100% because of the gambling.
Auburn also, a reminder that ESPN, according to ESPN, hardest top 25 schedule, Auburn was the 5th hardest schedule in college football. I do think they're going to be a lot better this year, but the schedule is brutal. There's no doubt about that. The big game for them, I think, is Oklahoma. If they can win the Oklahoma game, I think they got a chance to win some ball games. If they lose that one, I'm not sure which way the season goes. They're going to be a much improved football team, though, on both sides of the ball. I truly believe that. They didn't have any skill players. They didn't have any good receivers. They're loaded with young. They're young, but they got some talent at wide receiver.
You got to find somebody to get them the ball. I'm still not sold on Thorne.
You're right.
Look, Hugh Freeze has forgotten more about quarterbacks than I'll ever know in my lifetime, and he likes him. So maybe I'm missing something.
Well, it's like Bo Nix. He played seemed like 6 years, I think, and this kid's going to be his 6th year playing football, college football. The problem is Bo Nix was throwing against Pac-12 defenses, and here Thornton's throwing against SEC defenses. A big difference.
Yep.
If they can protect him, if they have any kind of running game, his passing.
To me, that was so much of the issue with Bo at Auburn. They couldn't protect him.
Right.
He was running for his life,
and that's what happened last year at Auburn.
And that's how he became more of a. I mean, he was a good runner all the way through high school, but I think he had to become more of a run-first guy because he was running for his life.
Think back to the Georgia game. Thorne ran the ball pretty good. Yeah. I mean, he's got some wheels.
He's similar to Jackson Dart in that respect, that you don't think of him as a runner, but he actually can run pretty well. All
right, let's talk about some of our wonderful, wonderful people. Let me turn this dang thing on.
Really?
The phone, I'm trying to let them know the phones. We got them working. We can call certain places. We can't take them right now. So quit texting me. We can't take your phone call.
Yeah, it's sorry about that, but it's not us. It's a cell tower is what I'm gathering, and looks like we will have Mark coming up here at 8:30.
Is it time to go now?
It's the government.
You might as well. You've screwed everything else.
Thank you.
Get a little chippy in here.
Hey, if you get injured, if you happen to drop something in their neck in about 2 seconds, call Dr. Chad Mitchell. He's there for you. He will take care of you. He's been on the Bay County sidelines for 25 years this fall. The guy's a legend. You can listen to him right here on ESPN Northwest Florida every Monday morning. That Cajun place, we're excited about having them back. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. Rudy's Barbecue, they cater breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They have a huge room in the back, Lorelei Layton room. You can have a football banquet back there, parties. And I tell you what now, the breakfast is pretty doggone good.
Let's go get some tacos, John. Woo! To heck with this show.
To heck with this show.
They cater. They do cater. They'll bring it to you. Dr. Ward, I want to apologize to him for somebody that works in the control room. Anyway, Dr. Ward, we're sorry we will not be able to get you on the phone today. We'll get you, hopefully, maybe tomorrow we can get you back on here and we can address some of the issues that you'd like to talk about.
He can skewer my medical opinion.
He wants to get after you. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, call Dr. Ward. Don't put it off. 5 minutes can save your life. Max Fitz Sports Nutrition. Jason Kovaleski will be here Friday. You want to look better, feel better, call Jason Kovaleski. 23rd Street, Pier Park. Guy's incredible. Paparazzi Pizza. If it is almost pizza season, every time I kick off a game, we got to have a pizza.
There you go.
Paparazzi can make it happen for you. Beef O'Brays in Lynn Haven. Pat Perno, thank you for the Auburn update. I don't even know if I mentioned you before the Auburn update. Thank you so much. The best city commissioner Lynn Haven's ever had. Beef O'Brays, Lynn Haven. Go check it out today and today only. 10 wings and a side for $9.99. They got great food. They got great service. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. Get out there. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. Maybe the pole vaulter, but is that a bad weekend? I don't know.
I don't know. Like if
Can you win and lose?
If
Is that a bad weekend? I don't know.
If a part of me prevented me from winning a medal, and it was that part of me,
right?
Like I'm okay with that. I think
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
You owe the IRS back taxes, and dealing with the IRS stresses you out. Fortunately, IRS Problem Relief can help you resolve back taxes and represent you to the IRS so you don't have to face them alone. Last year, IRS Problem Relief saved clients drowning in tax debt, and IRS Problem Relief is a local company right here in Panama City, not some 800 number where you can never talk to the same person twice. Put those problems behind you so you can focus on moving forward. Call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief, 850-784-8176. For a free consultation, call Edward Corey with IRS Problem Relief. It's 850-784-8176 or visit irsproblemrelief.com.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
When you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
It's the Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go Gators! Gators! We got the Gator himself, Mark McLeod, from Lynn Haven, Florida. Does an incredible job. We all know who Mark is. You look forward to it every Wednesday at 8:30. Mark, it's been a crazy show today. Help us, please. Correct it. I think I still have heat stroke. I got the worst headache. Anyway, Mark, tell us everything you know that's going on down in Gainesville. How's practice going? What's the injury report?
Just keep it with the sports teams. Don't tell us any of the other stuff.
Give us some good stuff today.
Yeah, well, the Gators, they were orange and blue, and that pretty much sums it up. Wildcat told me to keep it simple today.
Wait a minute. Slow down a little bit.
Now, things are going well. We get Billy Napier at 12:30 today. Looking forward to that. We'll see if he throws us any nuggets. Those two usually are seldom and few and far between, but we'll see if he can throw some nuggets today about what's going on and who's looking good. I think most everybody is really eager to know what's going on defensively because it was so awful last year. I mean, it was the worst defense I've ever seen in Florida history, and And they made a lot of changes, obviously, in the coaching staff, and got some guys in the portal that they really targeted. Certainly got two of those guys that they were targeting, in Pup Howard at middle linebacker and Joey Slackman on the defensive line, and really maybe three with Asa Turner coming in from the University of Washington at safety. But got a few other guys as well, and everything I'm hearing from those guys, it's been pretty good. Things are starting to get chippy at practice, which you guys as coaches know is usually a good sign. The guys are tired of beating up on one another and hitting one another. Shoot, it seems like they just got started.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, I'm kind of curious to this. Obviously, Billy starting the season on the hottest of seats, and unique situation with such a critical game week one. Now you got Lagway on campus. I mean, so much going on. Have you noticed any real difference in the way Billy approaches things with the media? Is it similar? Is he more guarded? Does he allow more access? Like, is there any change at all to that?
None.
Okay.
None. He has really, when you talk to him, even going back to the spring, when after the season, all the talk was, look how Florida finished the season so poorly. And, the talk, Brian, is, and to hear him speak, it's like he knows he's fine. He's fine. And look, Scott Strickland has made that point on several occasions in interviews and said Billy is not on the hot seat. That, we've got a lot of work to do. We had a lot of work to do. He's taking the program in the right direction, according to Strickland, and he feels good about what's going on at Florida. So, he when he speaks to you, it's confident. He's calm. He's not like a coach who you see that they have that hanging over their head. So it's a very it's the same Billy that we got last year.
So Strickland really might be the one on the hot seat. Then. That's what's going on there.
Yeah, it could be a double whammy.
Yeah. Well,
could be. But at practice, I mean, things are looking pretty good. You're hearing some good things defensively. Jason Marshall seems to have it back together, and he and the safeties, the safety plays look good with Turner and a couple of the other kids that they brought in. Because that's an area that I've complained about for at least 5 years. Good gracious, seems like they might in any given year have one safety who steps up and performs fairly well, or even pretty good, but that's about it. But out there, some of the other guys, Cameron and Caleb Banks, and some of the other D tackles that they've got, I think they feel pretty good. I think the big battle guys and the unknown is what's going to happen with the edge rushers. What's going to happen with the those F guys and the Fox guys. And I think those are some battles that are taking place right now in practice that we really probably right now don't have a clear grasp on. I think we have some ideas, but I think there's still some battles taking place. And guys, this is something that at Florida, you'd have a position battle here, a position battle there, over the past, 5 years or so, but not across the board. And I'm not saying you're having that right now, but you're having more of those. And, man, that's the direction Florida's needed to go because, as you and I have talked about, Coach, one of the major issues that I've had with Florida is, and you can tell the direction of the program and where you're at, where are the all-SEC guys? Where are they? They're not there. And Florida's always been a school under Spurrier, under Meyer, under other coaches even, where they had 2, 3, 5 guys that were bucking for all SEC nomination, and right now you just don't have a whole lot of that. Well, you're starting to see a little bit of that under Billy Napier with guys like Trey Wilson and some of the other guys who are coming up. Jordan Castell, who was SEC all-SEC freshman, and a freshman All-American, and certainly T.J. Searcy and some of those guys that they had at the at defensive end who were awfully young, but also made the freshman All-SEC team.
Yeah, I do want to hit this real quick. The athletic director is wrong. When you're 5-7 like they were last year, and you're 11-14 at the University of Florida, you're on the hot seat. that's talk that he's not on the hot seat. I'm not buying that. Maybe not by him, but he'll be gone if they don't have a good year this year.
There's that old adage that if you get like the vote of confidence, your days are numbered.
Yeah. You got to win at Florida. I mean, I don't care what anybody. You got to win at Florida. They've won national championship. People expect you to win. When are they practicing, Mark? Are they going early in the morning? Are they going late in the afternoon? Are they going at night? When do they practice down there?
They're mixing it up, and he did this last year a bit, and he's told us a few weeks ago that this is what they were going to do this year. Is they'll come out one day, they're coming out in the morning. The next day they're coming out at night. The following day they're coming out in the afternoon. So yeah, they're doing a lot of different things right now, and mixing it up because with TV times and you look at some of the times they're going to play these let's say the first half of the season, they're kind of all over the place.
I like that he's doing that. I know DeBorg's going at 9 o'clock in the morning, or either 9 or 9:30 every day. That's something different that Saban did. But Saban went in the afternoons. I like what Billy's doing there. If you're going to play a game at 11 o'clock, I'd rather practice at 11 o'clock. You're going to play a night game, let's practice at night. 2:30 kickoff, or it's 3 o'clock your guys' time. I think you should practice those times. I like what he's doing. The guy's worked for 2 great head coaches. He knows what he's doing. I told you I didn't agree. You and I kind of disagree a little bit on the defensive coordinator, the guy that came from Southern Mississippi. I thought he was really young to have that position. What's going to be their strength this year? The defense, the offense. What's Florida's strengths going into the season?
I think what they really want, and I think they feel better about it, is they finally feel better about the offensive line. You got some guys there, and there are some battles going on there. You've got Roderick Kearney, who has been a reserve at center, who's getting a look at offensive guard because it's about time for him to play. He's been there a couple of years at Florida, and they just really think he's that talented. Brandon Crenshaw Dixon has come over, of course, and the thought was he was going to be your right tackle. But right now, according to what I heard from somebody, they've got a couple kids who are looking pretty good at right tackle. One of them, Caden Jones, a young guy who they really like, real physical player, and he's sticking his nose in there and giving him all he can handle and trying to win that starting job. So, this is kind of where Florida football is needed to be, and it's not there yet, but it's getting there, where you're having a few more battles within positions, and it's just not been happening. But thankfully now we're starting to see a little bit of it. But they feel pretty good about the offensive line play, and they really want to get that running game going because they had it going at certain times last year, and then other times they didn't. They just got whipped physically. But Montrell Johnson's out. Of course, he had a knee injury, suffered a knee injury early in camp. He's already had it scoped. He was out there watching practice yesterday, and so they expect him to be back early in the season. There's no timetable yet on whether he will be back for the Miami game or maybe by game 2 or 3.
What all the talk? You want to say? Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
What all the talk about Miami? Everything I'm hearing, they're going to be good. They're going to be really good this year. I think this is his 3rd year too. And if you're a league coach, the 3rd year you got things going in the right direction. You're winning championships, or at least you're playing for a championship. If you're the elite of the elites, Saban won it his 3rd year at Alabama. Cristobal's 3rd year, Billy Napier's 3rd year, a lot of different coaches' 3rd year. How many? Can they win 7 games? Can they win 8 games? The old ball coach said they can. I kind of think they can win it. But if he only wins 7 games, 7 ball games, do you personally think he'll be back?
I think if Scott Strickland's the athletic director, there's a good chance he'll be back. And again, it really kind of depends on how are they playing these other games. Are they going to get blown out like they did against Kentucky?
Yeah.
And are they going to play poorly and get whipped physically like they did against Utah and Georgia? I mean, if those things happen, then you're in trouble. But I think if there's an upward trajectory and you're seeing it week after week, they play those last 5 games tough. maybe they don't win them all. They're not going to win them all, but if you can steal one, steal two, and play really well in those other games, and you can see it. It passes the eye test, and I think that's pretty good for Florida.
Mark, we got to take a break. We'll come back and finish up with Mark McLeod. Talking about the Florida Gators, got a couple questions for Mark when we get back. Right now, let's talk about some of our great people. A reminder, if you want that yard to look absolutely beautiful, call Patrick at Turf Pro Pest Control. They'll come out, they'll look up, they'll tell you exactly what they need to do. Let them go. Turn them loose. Let them call the plays. They'll get your yard looking absolutely gorgeous. They do a great job. Hey, if I want jewelry, where am I going?
You're going to go to David Adamson Fine Jewelry and Design, the only place where you can buy high-quality jewelry in Lynn Haven. They'll fix it. They'll buy it. They'll clean it. They'll appraise it. Whatever you need done, they do it in-house. 830 Ohio Avenue, Lynn Haven.
All right. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Tyreek Hill, the players voted for the top 100 players in the NFL, and the players always love hyper-athleticism. Not only is it disrespectful to Patrick Mahomes, but it should also be noted that since Tyreek Hill left Mahomes, Patrick leads the NFL in passing yards and passing touchdowns.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Wednesday. For this afternoon and evening, sunshine and a high of 95 with a moderate breeze coming out of the west-southwest around 15 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies with lows around 84. Tomorrow, sunny with a gentle breeze and a temperature near 91. Moving into Friday, about the same with a high of 90 and sunny. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Man, is it hot. Not only is the weather hot, the savings on name brand Western wear at that boot store is sizzling. During their 60th anniversary celebration going on now. Shop the hot deals in air conditioning comfort and be amazed at the tremendous selections of Carhartt work clothes and Western wear available at that boot store. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 until 5:30. Next to Bill Berkey at 15th Street, Panama City. That boot store where God is good all the time.
Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control. They take pride in caring for their customers' property by providing lawn and whole house pest control. Whether you have roaches or any other unwanted bugs in your home, Turf Pro has you covered. Or if your lawn needs weed control, fertilize, insect control, Turf Pro has you covered by providing custom treatments to meet your property's needs. No property is the same, so why should it be treated that way? Turf Pro, where the blue and yellow trucks make your lawn green. Call 850-890-5820.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show.
One thing people aren't saying a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Mark McLeod with us this morning. Mark, the week one game is August 31st, Miami. A huge game for both head coaches. The one that wins is going to be a big lift, I think, for both programs. The one that loses, they're going to be in trouble, I think, especially Florida with that schedule. How do you think this game plays out? What do you think is going to happen week one?
Well, I don't know yet. I mean, I'm just trying to get through practice sessions. Improving where? I'm getting
ready to go make a bet. I got to know.
We can beat the dead horse of Billy. No one's talking about Billy being fired right now. I think most people around here are talking about, okay, who's improving where? What are you seeing on the practice field? I think that's kind of where we're at now. The Billy getting fired, that horse has been beaten to death throughout talking season. I think you're seeing some areas of Florida where they're starting to come through. Obviously for Florida, like I said, Montrell Johnson gets injured. You can't afford for guys to start getting injured and going down. I know Texas has a running back who's having an MRI done. These are things that you really, as you guys as coaches know, you want to prevent happening during camp. Florida's had their share of injuries during camp over the past 2 years. They've lost some key players. But I think right now, the good news, hearing guys like Elijah Badger, the transfer from Arizona State, and how well he's doing out on the practice field. He is really turning heads out there, guys. And young guy, Tank Hawkins, has been looking pretty good, too, turning some heads out there, which he was, go back a few months ago, and he certainly, people were excited about him then. Even DJ Lagway made a comment about that's a guy who's going to be a star. And Lagway himself has looked pretty good. They've got some things going with Lagway, and of course, this is an important year for Florida to get him some playing time and kind of show the future because tying to your point with Billy Napier and whether he's going to be around or not, well, I think part of that also hinges on DJ Lagway. And he's going to get some playing time. He's going to get some things going on. And with the communication in the helmet, that's going to make it, or should make it, I should say, easier for him to get some playing time and maybe do a few good things for Florida in relief of Mertz, because he's going to play, I don't know about every game, but he's going to play in a lot of games this season.
All right, the schedule's brutal. It's going to come down to a couple plays if the games are close. So the kicking game is going to be critical. You cannot have mistakes in the kicking game. And I haven't been hearing much about Florida special teams. What are you hearing about the kick covers, the punt covers, the kickers, field goals? What are you hearing about that? Anything at all?
No, nothing about that. I mean, obviously, Trace Mack is back. You have your snapper, long snapper back. Coach Manley knows how important all that is, having those guys back for another year. You've got Crawshaw back punting for Florida, which he made some all-SEC teams with some of the various publications. So it's pretty good. I think overall they're going to be fine there. Now, again, what Florida needs is they need some electricity in the return game, in my opinion. They had a little bit of it with Ricky Pearsall last year, but if you remember, Ricky Pearsall they turned the punt return duties over to him later in the year. They had somebody else doing it, and it just didn't look very good. So that's going to be important for Florida. And, again, you have some speed now. Tank Hawkins, that kid, he's a true freshman, but that kid can fly. He can absolutely fly. And, of course, we know Trey Wilson can run. So Florida getting some speed back there at wide receiver is certainly helping them. And having DK and certainly Elijah Badger, two guys with a lot of experience, really was kind of a saving grace for the Gators because they were in a real pickle unless they hit a couple of home runs in the transfer portal. And certainly I think they did with Elijah Badger. They hit one there.
Well, I think, we talked about the punter last year. I think he's so consistent that, he does punt it fairly long. But what I really like is the height, where most of them are fair catches. That's very important. And most people really don't understand that's hidden yardage that you don't really see.
Exactly. And Florida's got a new game changer. Joe Houston came over. Of course, he spent some time, a few years with the New England Patriots. And back several years ago, you remember when those Iowa special teams were really good? Well, he was at Iowa. He was the guy there.
Yeah.
So this is one where it was important for the NCAA guys to change those rules and allow more coaches on the sidelines, because he would not have been on the sideline. Billy told the media that he anticipated this happening, so that's why they brought Joe Houston in and didn't make him a coach that was initially going to be on the sideline, because he felt like the NCAA would make that change. He would get the opportunity, and he does.
Right. The other thing, too, is most coaches, I mean, really, in college, you just punt it around 40 yards and they fair catch it. You're really happy, but the thing, too, is your coverage and, having everybody on the field at the right time. Those are the little mistakes that can eat you up. And the punting is the easiest way to screw up the game than anything else. So.
Yeah, you're right. And Florida's had some good ones. You look field goal kicking, Evan McPherson just a few years ago.
Right.
Trace Mack really had a good run last year and then missed one or two, but boy, he had hit several consecutive. And, of course, you're talking about the the punting job. Florida's had some really good punters.
The last 2 or 3
years with the Townsend brothers, and then certainly Crawshaw. So they've had that, but they haven't had a return game, Coach. Flipping the field is so important when you have so many deficiencies like the Gators have had in recent years. Special teams can bail you out. They can help you win a ball game here and there. And Florida just hasn't put it all together. They've had pieces of it, but they haven't put it all together.
It's 1/3 of the game, and that's the reason I brought it up. I'm sitting there looking at the schedule. I'm like, how can they get an edge somewhere, some way? And seriously, this is the number one toughest schedule in college football. Georgia is ranked either number 1 or number 2. Texas is ranked in the top 4. LSU, they're talking about they make the playoffs. Ole Miss is expected to make the playoffs. FSU is a favorite to win the ACC. Those games are all in a row. Then you got Central Florida. That's their Super Bowl for them to play Florida. Mississippi State is probably the easiest conference game they've got. Texas A&M's got a new ball coach. They're going to be good. Tennessee's going to be really good. I mean, the schedule's crazy, but you would think with the athletes Florida's always seem to have and the speed they have, the special teams have to be good. And you're right. I remember the days when Spurrier was coaching and Urban Meyer were there. They ran punts back. They run kickoffs back. They were explosive in the kicking game.
Yeah, Brandon James. I've had Brandon James on the show several times. He lives over in St. Augustine and is offensive coordinator for the high school there. Of course, they played the state championship game and lost a close one. But he, you go to the SEC record book, and I know a few years ago I found his name in there 12 different times. He was top 10 in all those different categories, and he was in the top 3 in a few categories. So, yeah, but Florida hasn't had that guy. They simply haven't, and they need to get the return game going because, again, to help that offense out. And certainly they've done a decent job, I think, overall in coverage. But, again, one of the biggest issues for Florida, and so you see this happen quite a bit on special teams, but is takeaways. Florida had no takeaways last year as a team. Yeah. Very few. And they were like dead last in the nation in takeaways. So that has to change if you're going to play good, not only good defensive football, but make some things happen on special teams.
Mark, are they having their scrimmages on every Saturday up to the season?
I don't know, Coach. We're going to find out. Hopefully we'll find out something today about that first scrimmage.
Yeah, okay. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. How you feeling?
Great. Outstanding.
Good. You look good when you were in here the other day.
Nice studio.
Yeah, it is. Tell Coach not to walk in the dead heat of the day.
Oh, my God. I about killed myself yesterday. I got the worst headache right now. I don't know what's wrong.
Now I know what brain dead means.
Yeah, I am brain dead today. Crazy.
That could have been before the walk, though. You never.
I got to go to the bath. Wait a minute. I just did. No.
Uncle Joe.
That was a joke. Calm down.
I'm not sure you know if it was.
Calm down.
Look at YouTube, Mark.
Anyway. Hey, we'll talk to you next Wednesday, buddy. Thank you.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.
All right, bye.
Hey, can you imagine, though, right now if we were still coaching this heat?
Oh, no.
Isn't that what assistant coaches are for?
Yeah, no kidding.
There you go.
Now, you mentioned this. If it's a heat index a certain level in Bay County, they got to take you. You got to come off.
I think maybe a state rule too. I think if you have everybody has a meter out there, whether it's the trainer or one of the coaches in it. I think it used to be 104. Heat index is 104. You got to bring them in. I could be wrong. It could change, but but we always had we were one of the first ones to have the heat index meter, and also.
Well, Glenn, I will say you this: you are hot. We're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
What's your walk-up song, Jay?
It's got to be something AC/DC. Yeah. I can't. Any AC/DC. Or Chicken Head.
I think it's more Genuine there.
Or Genuine.
Yeah. Pony? Pony. Yep.
Could be a Pony.